Hi, good evening. I am your Toastmaster for the day. I know I look like a hybrid superhero, but I guess that's what it requires for someone to be here at I am Indore. You need to be a superhero, pick up the best things from different superheroes. So, okay. Thank you guys for all coming here. This is probably the first session that we're having in the new year. I hope you guys had a good vacation break. Let's get started with today's session. We have a few people who've signed up for the prepared speeches. So let's get started directly with that. Today's session, we'll try to keep it as an informal session. So you don't have to be scared about, even if someone has not given a speech before, please do come ahead and give. Even if you're hesitant, we have ensured that the junior team has ensured they have a lot of topics in hand, and they'll ensure that this is an entertaining evening for all of you. So let's put all of our hands together and ensure that this is a great prepared speeches. Manoj Jaiswal. Grammarian. Who wants to be the grammarian? Sonal, what is the word of the day? I think everyone wants it to be fantastic. Fantasy. Okay. Rahul, can you be the outcome? So we have the role set for the day. I'll be your Toastmaster for the day. Vani is going to be handing over the table topic masters. Shikha is going to be the evaluator of prepared speeches, and Akshi is going to evaluate the impromptu speeches. Ashwin will be the general evaluator, and Rahul Sirohi will be the R counter. Then we have Abhyuday as the timer. Abhyuday? Okay. Okay, Abhishek. So we have the roles set for the day. Let's put a hand together for Manoj, who is going to be the first superhero speech giver of the day.
Okay, thank you, Anusha. Good evening, everyone, and hi. So, I actually have a very bad feeling about this speech because I was told by Anusha that she'll start with a joke and then she'll introduce myself. So, let's see how that goes. So, keeping in mind the topic, the theme of today, which is Comic Con and the delicious food that awaits, my topic would be if I were a superhero, then what I would do. So what I did is put my thinking caps on and then just started thinking because as trivial as it seems, it's not that easy considering how commoditized the superhero market is nowadays. So as usual, first I thought, okay, I'd pretend to have a childhood which is very dramatic, have a hot girl as a sidekick, and kill all the criminals in the city and all the good stuff. But that is too mainstream, don't you think? Everybody does that. So my strategy guru told me that you should differentiate yourself. So I thought, okay, probably I try to do something different. So I kept on thinking and thinking, and I wasn't able to come up with anything. So I thought probably I should try try thinking that what I would do if I were an existing superhero. So starting with our beloved superhero and most celebrated hero of all time, Mr. Batman. So so as Batman, the first thing I would do is, apart from having some quality time with Catwoman, which I won't discuss with in course of public interest, is to get a better suit. You know, it's not that ugly or anything. It looks decent. In fact, it looks quite good. But you know, whenever he puts it on, he's like, "I'm Batman. I have throat cancer. Please help me." So I don't know, yeah. Whenever he puts it, he gets this throat cancer or something. So come on, dude, you're filthy rich. Get a decent suit. Even people from I Am Indore have that. So the first thing that I'd do is, and you know, it would save us the trouble of downloading the subtitles next time, or at least for the next Batman movie. So that would be it. Next would be Superman. So if I was Superman, the first thing I would do is find the creator of Superman, who is Mr. Jerry Siegel, and I don't know if he's alive or dead. If he's alive, I'd find him. If he's dead, I'll go back in time and still find him, or whatever it takes, and find him and ask him the question what that is the question of the generation is, why am I wearing this costume, man? What the hell is wrong with you? Were you high or something? I mean, you gave me all this superpower. I have high speed. I can, you know, kick anyone. I can. I have even have the X-ray which I use in my private time, whatever. So what is wrong with you? What did you do? So I haven't got the answer yet because I'm not Superman yet. So thinking of this actually didn't solve my problem of differentiation as much as it passed my time as well as yours. So so what I decided to do is be a niche superhero. So what a niche superhero, I thought I would decide my segment. So what better than the MBAs of the country? So I thought I would do something that would interest the MBAs of all. MBAs worldwide. So and I thought again, and I had a moral epiphany that we shouldn't get strategy lessons from someone whose firm got bankrupt in 2013. And you know, he keeps repeating the same thing and we have to read on 20 pages, 40 pages. So the answer that I came up was simple. You just kill Michael E. Porter. because that would make me the hero that the MBAs deserve and the one that they needed 67 years back from now. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj. That was a very, very entertaining speech. I hope someone else can also join him and keep us entertained for the rest of the evening. Next up, we have Anirban. Are you ready for the speech? Oh, sorry, we don't let in people without a mask on stage.
My mask is not visible. That's
No. Deep side.
Okay. Alright, so we have gathered this evening to celebrate Comic-Con, and of course we are going to talk about superheroes. So I'm going to assume that everyone over here knows about the Batman franchise. I think all of us have watched the 3 parts of Batman. The Batman Begins, then The Dark Knight Rises. Sorry, I'm actually mixing up in my own mind. But anyway, the assumption is that all of you have watched the Batman movies. So, talking about superheroes, now they are naturally gifted. I don't know about Batman because, okay, just one bullet can kill that guy, but still, we assume that he's a superhero for the general good. We assume that they are naturally very richly endowed, they have a lot of money, a lot of wealth, a lot of strength. And we talk about management in very constrained environment. That's why we have subjects like economics, which tell us to optimize and deal with resources cleverly so that we don't waste it. But why do we have to talk about management when these guys are around? I mean, they look, my fridge is not working, my cooler is not working. I'll call Superman. He uses freeze breath and get me a tray of ice in 2 minutes. So, in spite of that, when I was watching their superhero movies, I thought this is going to be a perfect journey. There's not going to be a single management flaw that I'm going to find out in the movies. But when I was watching the Batman series, I was so thoroughly disappointed. For example, in our class, they tell us that always learn to diversify your risk. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. What do we see in Batman? He puts all his funds in one account and it gets stolen so easily by a criminal called Bane. And then the next day, from a millionaire, he becomes a broke. So when a superhero is setting examples like this, I mean, what do we learn? Like, we really need to come to B schools and manage our wealth better, because when the superheroes are so miserable, then who's going to guide them for a better life? Then we come and then we are often told that don't judge a person by stereotypes. So let's come to the movie Batman again. We know a character called Rachel, which is Batman's love interest, and in the first part of the movie, he tries his best despite his super rich status. He tries to impress her, and he tries his best to prove it to her that it's not the person, the filthy, the rich brat that she thinks he is. He has a character underneath. So for the entire first half of the movie, Rachel tries to project to Batman that you should actually step out of your comfort zone and then do something good for the society. Towards the end of the movie, when we see that when he puts on the Batman cape and costume and tries to save society, she comes and tells him that, no, dude, you have changed and I don't like you anymore for the person you were. So, it's not good to judge people by stereotypes, but don't ignore the elephant in the room. So when you see a warning signs, always go for it. Next we come to Spider-Man. We are often told that always set your target at a correct focus. So Spider-Man, our famous guy, he tries to balance everything and he does not find any work-life balance in his life. So he's a pizza delivery guy, then he tries to manage his girlfriend and he tries to solve crime and do a lot of things together. So either he could actually delegate his tasks to someone better, or he could actually appoint an assistant, or at least to receive the calls. I mean, he doesn't have to do everything by himself. But in trying to actually macromanage and fails miserably, so he breaks up with his girlfriend, he gives her off to his best friend, who in turn becomes a supervillain, and he becomes miserable in crime fighting as well. So he loses all the niches that he has gathered during his superpower regime. Then we come back to Superman. So Superman teaches us a very important lesson. I mean, it's not about his superpowers, that we all know about. But I want to take you back to the point in time when Superman originated. So the planet Krypton, it was dying and its core was collapsing, and everyone in Krypton wanted to leave the planet and go somewhere else. Now, just imagine how smart Superman's parents were. They knew this was going to happen. They extracted all the juice that was left in the planet, and smartly they put the key to survival of their entire race in one entity, that was Superman himself as a small baby, and then sent him off to the planet. So this is so those of you who are familiar with a little bit of finance know about the concept of a golden parachute. That is, you come to a company, you extract the complete juice out of the company, and then you leave the company as a CEO with a golden parachute and let the company go into dooms. So this is what Superman teaches us, that real life concepts from Superman can be applied in finance, and actually we have a lot to learn about. Apart from this, we also have important concepts about market research. So Batman, before he begins any of his assignment, he has, I don't know, the world's best supercomputer in his lab, and whatever he keys in, he gets the entire biodata and entire information at his disposal. So I agree that he's smart, he goes crime fighting well prepared, but I really doubt how he missed the very fact that the girl he was dating in the last movie, Batman Rises, turns out to be Ra's al Ghul's own daughter, and he didn't have any idea about it. I mean, he can trace out details about any microorganism in any part of the planet, but somehow he misses this important detail and divulges all his company secrets to this woman. So the important management lesson that we have to take out from this is, when you are doing your marketing research and investing so much of money, please do it thoroughly and sincerely so that you don't have to regret for your decisions. So at the end, I'll conclude my speech by saying that yes, of course, it is good to be endowed with superpowers, but at the end of the time, the real superpower lies in our brain, and I think that's the biggest gift that God has given us. So we should use it wisely while it is still with us, and make best use of it.
Thank you, Anand. So, thank you for that thorough analysis. I know that some of us are going to be starting off with our jobs, some of us are going to go back and have an internship. So probably we can take that thing out of, take that little piece of advice from Anirban's speech and say that superheroes may be super, but we are also not less from them. We also have studied marketing, finance and all, and we can apply all of that and do better jobs than most superheroes. So on that note, let's see who our next speaker is. Vani, you would like to give a speech? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Hello everyone. On this occasion of Comic Con, I want to tell you a story. A story about a girl. Though the story is 21 years back. I mean, it starts like 21 years back, but still, let's just go about it. Okay, now back in 1993, a girl was born. Okay, in Delhi in a hospital to an inspector mom and a banker dad. So imagine her childhood. Okay, so now being born with parents who are working, she obviously found her rescue in the TV. And TV means cartoons to at least the small children. So she started fantasizing, especially about the Powerpuff Girls, juggling between Blossom, Buttercup and Bubbles. Now when she sees herself as a leader, she wants to be Blossom. And when she's trying to be that chubby, laughing girl, then she wants to be Bubbles. But then when she sees the fighter side of herself, she wants to be Buttercup. So the story goes about for some time. And then she breaks into some school and then college and finally lands up at IIM Indore, trying to be Shaktiman and battling all the projects assignments given by whether Jaisimha or Sabita. I mean the horrible crossover here. And now, after coming here, she finds a rescue in a club. The club is Toastmaster, and which holds sessions like these, Comic Con, to entertain her. So this brings her back to her fantasy world where she started from. Okay, now that leads us to some of her other stories. Like when she reached her teenage period, she started watching movies like Jab We Met, when she wanted to be married to a guy like Richie Rich and get lots of money and enjoy the life thoroughly. But then she thought, why not Batman? Why not Spider-Man? Why not Superman? Come on, these guys have superpowers and that'll make her life so easy. So she started imagining, okay, what if I am Batman's wife? Okay, what will I have to do? Oh God, a guy with a mask all the time, a guy with a black suit? Gee, horrible. Okay, and then she started thinking about Spider-Man. The one with ropes. I'll get stuck. No, that's not right. Okay, then Superman. But the guy wears his undies over his pants. Horrible again. Okay, so that's her story. And now, let me tell you the name of the girl. The name of the girl is Vani, and today she's here justifying her name. Okay, so that concludes my level 1 speech.
Thank you, Vani. So, it's nice to know that Toastmasters Club is definitely a part of your lives and entertaining you guys. And superheroes probably don't make good boyfriends. That's what I gather from that. So, anyway, let's bring out the next speaker, Abhyuday. You don't have a mask.
Because it's not related to Comic-Con. It's not related to
But you can still have a mask.
So actually everybody is talking about Comic-Con, but the thing is that I actually thought about a few days back that the effect of social media is increasing day by day in our everyday life. And if we see the websites, then definitely Facebook will top the list. So that's why today my topic is Facebook. So, there in India, there are two types of men, engineer and non-engineer. engineer. So this Facebook thing has done an excellent job to improve the communication skill of the Indian male engineers. Like at least on Facebook they say hi to a girl. Unlike the real world. You guys know, right, how an engineer introduces himself to a girl in real life. I love you. So this Facebook thing is coming up with a lot of weird features with unique, options. Like one of them is relationship status. So a few days back I saw that one of my friends changed her relationship status to in a complicated relationship. So I called, so I didn't know what's the meaning of complicated relationship. I know what the relationship is, but complicated, okay, so I called her and I asked her, what's this, what does this mean? So she told that, no, actually he doesn't have a job, so that's why it's a bit complicated. I was like, this can't be a definition of complicated relationship. Like, the complicated relationship should be like this. Like when the guy doesn't like the girl, but still he is in the relationship just because he is attracted to her sister. That's when we call it complicated relationship. So in Facebook actually helps us also. Like it actually helps you to identify who all your good friends are. Actually, your true friends are. Like at least your true friends will write happy birthday, many happy returns of the day on your timeline on your birthday. But your fake friends, your people who are not your true friends, they will always write those magical letters, HBD, all in small letters, without any dot, without any space. I mean, it's your birthday. I mean, how can this height of ignorance? How can they write just 3 letters on your birthday? So, by the way, there are some more creative people who write more exotic abbreviations like MHROTD. Like it took me a while to understand that it's not any swear words. Like what he's trying to say is many happy returns of the day. So, Facebook, what I think, Facebook is a place where you torture people who don't have a DSLR. Like whenever you log into Facebook, the Facebook timeline will explode with the photos of ants, spiders, mosquitoes, everything, all those things. But that's not a problem. What I don't like is tagging people who are not even in that photo. Like tagging 50 people in a photo of chocolate cake. Why, man? I'll tell you what will be the problem. Because they can tag one of your friends also in that photo of chocolate cake. And next time, if you want to log into Facebook from some new location, and if Facebook thinks that somebody is trying to hack your profile, they'll throw you that photo of chocolate cake and they'll tell you to identify your friend. By the way, there is one thing, like if Facebook shuts down one day, do you know what will be the most damaged industry in this world? It will be the tourism industry. Because people will stop traveling to exotic locations in their holiday. Because they don't have Facebook to upload their photos. And no comment, no like, no incentive to spend so much money. Like what I think, that sometimes a lot of people just get married only to get a hold of perennial stock of Facebook DPs. Like after marriage, you have seen that the newlywed couple, they put a lot of couple photo pic in the Facebook timeline. And what is most amazing, like in every photo you will find 50 sweet couple, sweet couple, sweet couple, sweet couple. Like it's like in every couple on Facebook is a sweet couple. भाई इतना success rate तो सरवन भाई का भी नहीं है ना. So anyway, what I want, I just want a single guy just go up there and put an honest comment. ये क्या कर दिया भाई? टीना का जोड़ी तो अच्छा था. टाइम है या रजिस्ट्री हो गया अभी? This kind of thing. And there is, by the way, they are not the most sinful people on Facebook. Like putting a wrong comment, flossy comments is not a sin, we can say. So, but there is a bunch of guys on Facebook who are doing the most sinful job. Like if there is a study on the refusal of visa to heaven, like the most frequent reason that will be there will it's not murdering or it's not theft, it's not even eating non-veg on Tuesday. The most frequent reason for which people don't get a place in heaven is sending Candy Crush Saga game request to innocent. I conclude with one important feature of Facebook. and that's that it actually helps us to connect to people who don't even wants to get connected. Like there is something called graph search. So a few days back, I went to a birthday party with one of my friends, and there was a beautiful girl. So I asked him that, do you know, is she your friend? He said no. I said that, do you know any of our friends? He said no. I was like, I don't know what her name is. So he said, oh, acha, you want to know her name? Acha, her name is Ragini. She studies economics in St. Xavier's College. Her birthday is on 1st May, and by the way, she has done internship with PwC, and by the way, she has a tattoo on her right leg. I was like, what is this, dude? This is so creepy, man. Like after some time, somebody came and introduced that girl with that my friend, and the conversation after that was like this: hey, my name is Ragini. Yeah, I know. I study economics in St. Xavier's College. I know. I have done my internship with PwC. I know. By the way, I have a tattoo on my right leg. No, don't lie. It's on your left leg. So that's it for today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Abhyuday. I'm sure any of the superheroes here in the audience will take a leaf out of your book and take some tips on how to converse on Facebook, how to behave in parties, and probably more than that. So let's move on to the table topics. Let me invite Vani.
Okay, on this occasion of Comic Con, we have the concept of today as if. So, any of you will come here and pick a chit. The topic is if, and it's continued in the chit. So you have to come and imagine yourself in that situation and give a 2-minute speech accordingly. So let me start with Akshay Agarwal. Okay, your topic is if you are as fast as Flash. Okay, he doesn't know Flash. Okay, let's change.
Perhaps you can explain it to him. Who's Flash?
You can take another topic. If you are DD. Okay, not there. Otherwise.
Okay. So, if I were
If you are DD.
if I were DD is like bit different from me because I have a friend who acts like DD to me and I am her Dexter. But if I were DD, what I would have done is like kill Dexter that day, and then reason being that would give me the best pleasure. Being DD for me is a person who understands everything but acts like she doesn't. So I found people around here acting the same and trying to nag people around that I would love to do, like the professors do here. So moving around, nagging my neighbor sitting in my on my left or right during the professor's lecture and asking whatever is going on, something like that, to nag people, to destroy their things, to actually ask the stupid questions which mean nothing. I think that would I would be doing. So that is DD doing.
Okay, that was a nice attempt. We move forward with the next participant, Shikha. topic is if you are the Indian Spider-Man. Okay. Let's.
I would like to give a brief introduction of myself. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. तूने चुराया मेरे दिल का चैन. So that is basically the Desi version of Spider-Man. I'm not very sure how many of you would have watched the movie. But then, if you are like really frustrated, if you have like 7 lectures back to back, I hope TGP ones who were having MK3 sessions will understand how frustrating it is, as you know, facing Jaisalmer and Sabita, as one of my friends mentioned. So yeah, if you really want to chill out, then DC Spider-Man is one good movie. Anyways, being an Indian Spider-Man has its own advantages. As in, if you would have been, imagine if you would have been in USA or maybe in London where, you know, people are like freakishly cleanliness freaks, then it would have been a little difficult to find your own, let's say, energy incrementers. But here in India, like I'm not specifically talking about Indore, but then in a lot of places you do find a lot of spiders and nooks and crannies. So you might never be alone. There's no scope of being lonely because you'll have all spider friends, you know, laying around. And then the best time is during the Diwali cleanings, where it's vacation time even for the spiders, where they come out, or rather are thrown out. But then you're never out of company. Apart from that, if I would have been the Desi Spider-Man, I would have had better costumes. And then obviously there aren't a lot of skyscrapers here. So I would actually ask the Indian government to build as large skyscrapers as New York City so I can have as much of fun. Thank you.
Indeed, an interesting Indian version of the Spider-Man. Okay, we don't have any more registered participants, so I'd open the platform for anyone to come and give an impromptu speech. Okay, come on, this is a Comic-Con informal session, so you're most welcome. Come on, this club can't be so dead. If you are the 5th of the Fantastic Four. Are you okay with the topic or is it okay? All right.
Okay, so the Fantastic Four, they have the 4 members who have their unique powers, and being a 5th one among them would be a matter of great pride. In fact, it would be my fantasy if I could get to be something of that sort. But then, with so many good people with so many different powers around, it would be difficult to choose really as to which aspects or attribute would you want to have. So it's difficult because then you need to have, because these people already have a quite different set of powers. Like Mr. Extend, there's one person who can extend to any form, take any shape. Then there's the Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and the Stone Guy. I don't know his name. So if I happen to be the 5th one, I should be someone who can gel well with them, have a very corresponding set of parts, which apparently these people would not have. So I think something which has to do with water maybe, because we have a Human Torch, so there has to be an opposite element to that. So maybe something like an Aquaman, who is not really part of the Fantastic Four, but then he would be someone who's complementary. He can help the elastic, the person with the elastic part to stretch out, and even I can be flexible because water can take up any shape, any form. So also I can yeah, so I think I would pick up to be someone with power similar to Aquaman, and I think it would be a very good fit within the Fantastic Four team to make it Fantastic Five. Thanks, sir.
That was indeed very logical. You thought it all around. Okay, Aquaman would be a good fit. Okay, so I invite more people to come up and take part in this impromptu session. Okay, people from this side.
Come on, guys. No one wants to be a superhero?
So this topic is, if you are smarter than Chacha Chaudhary.
Hello, good evening. I think most of us know about Chacha Chaudhary, right? First thing, if I'm more smarter than Chacha Chaudhary, I'll hire a Khali instead of Sabu. And I'll find a way, anyway I'm very smart than Chacha Chaudhary also, to grow up a little. You know how, what is the height of Chacha Chaudhary, so first thing I'll do is, I'll grow up and I'll be probably more smarter than him. And what else? I'll become a consultant. That will be the best thing, probably fantasy that you will get more offers everywhere. Anyway, he has some very routine jobs. He used to help around his house or something. At least if he'll be consultant, he can come to Indore also, and he'll get more money. He can charge as well, and he has big Sabu also. So nobody would dare to like default on him for paying the money. That would be all.
Okay, so Mr. Improved Chacha Chaudhary. Okay, someone else?
We have
Oh,
prizes for
yeah. Okay. This topic is very interesting. If you are the Papa girl's daddy,
You might have seen many superheroes like Superman, Spider-Man. I mean, they were either come out from other world or been created inside our world. So I'm a Professor X, and I also thought of becoming superhero. So since I'm a professor of chemistry, I mixed various chemicals, and I found a solution called Chemical X. And incidentally, instead of pouring myself and drinking the chemical, accidentally I dropped that chemical into some ants. And what happened was the ant turned into girls. I don't know how that miracle happened. And they became the pop of girls. And because of them, since they were born from my source, I was called a dad to them. And initially I thought of becoming a hero, but I was sad that I was not able to become a hero. But these girls who emerged out of that chemical, they became so much powerful that they fulfilled all my dreams.
even I fantasized about becoming a hero, but my dreams were taken by these super women and pop-up girls, and I thought of naming them with different names, and later I came to the name of Bubbles, Buttercup, and yeah. And incidentally, I also made a villain to them, who is this Mojo Jojo. Yeah. And actually, I mean, he is also my make, but he turned into a villain, and I really wanted to correct that mistake, but I leave that to the pop-up girls, and I think they will take care of them in the future.
An audience comment from Pratap. People are saying they really like the eye that you were wearing. Okay, anyone else would like to volunteer and come up? Okay, come on people, on this side and that side.
We have prizes for,
The best.
yeah, and we'll include the people from impromptu speeches as well because it's Comic Con.
So come on people. Okay, if not the normal audience, team members, senior team especially. Now he's finally taking up the topic. If you are as fast as Flash.
Okay, so if I were Flash, the first thing that comes to my mind is I won't have to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning because of the schedule. Instead of the normal 8:15, I wake up at 8:35 and then punch in and then go out, and then nobody will catch me. That's the best thing that Flash can do, and I think I could win some medal for India in the Olympics, which has been my fantasy from the beginning. And Flash assignments, yeah. Probably if you could write as fast as Flash, that would be even more cooler. So yeah, that would be it. Thank you.
I really liked how you linked it up to the I Am Indore story, because that's my saga as well. Okay, anyone else? We have some
I
topics
think we
left.
heard Vishal's name.
If Hulk is after him.
Well, this one day I was walking down the road and I met oh sorry, I want to start my story again. I was giving CP in the class, and I normally I anger my profs a lot when I give CP because I give a lot of stupid suggestions. And this one visiting prof came and I gave a CP and he got really angry. And slowly he started going green. And then suddenly he turned out to be the Hulk. And then he tried to kill me. So this is my story of how I tried to escape. So I'm going out. Now you see, I have a lot of good friends and all, and I understood that this person is very strong. He can break in. He can actually run through walls and everything. So I did a lot of parkour to get through him. But he was keeping on breaking walls, and so I thought, this guy, unlike Superman and Spider-Man, he can't really go up. He can't fly. He doesn't have ropes or stuff. So I called Bruce Wayne and I said, dude, I need your Batmobile. I need your bat ship just for 2 minutes. And then I got in that and I escaped. So, and you have a professor, he's a Hulk, you're in a bat plane. What's your dream? You want to shoot him down, right? So then I fulfilled that dream and I escaped from him. Thank you very much.
A really interesting story we heard. Thanks, Vishal. Okay, anyone else? Because we still have a lot of topics left. If nobody's turning up, then we'll just wind off this impromptu round. I invite Anusha to just take over.
Thank you, Akriti. Those were very entertaining topics. I know in IIM we do a lot of impossible things, impossible assignments and everything. But it's good to put ourselves into the shoes of our favorite superheroes and think differently for a while. Let me just now start off with the evaluation portion, and first I'd like to call upon the timer, Abhishek.
So coming to prepare the speech, first was Manoj, and he was almost finished well within his time limit, that is 4 minutes 50 seconds. Then Anirvan, his speech was of 6 minutes. Then coming to Vani, and it was a very short and crisp speech. She took 2 minutes 40 seconds, and Avidar took 6 minutes 50 seconds, although it was very engaging and all of us enjoyed. Then coming to impromptu, Akshay took 24 seconds to gather his thoughts, and then his impromptu was of 68 seconds. Then coming to Shikha, she took 20 seconds to gather her thoughts, and her speech was of 2 minutes. Nilanjan took 33 seconds to gather his thoughts, and he was also well within his prescribed time limit, 1 minute 50 seconds. Santosh was very quick. He took only 10 seconds and finished within 1 minute 15 seconds. Pratap took 20 seconds to build up his thought and finished in 1 minute 50 seconds. And Manoj took 34 seconds to gather his thoughts and finished in 1 minute. And Vishal took 15 seconds to gather his thought and finished in 1 minute 20 seconds. Thank you.
That's a very efficient usage of a mask that I've seen. Yeah, thank you, Abhishek. Next we'll call upon Sonal for a speech evaluation, for a grammar evaluation of the evening.
Hello everyone, hope you all enjoyed your speeches. Coming to the grammar part, there are always few corrections on tenses and conjunction usage, and a little bit of more emphasis on correct usage of prepositions as well. Otherwise, it was all very good because most of you use the word of the day, so it all compensates for all the mistakes you have done. So, great tips from all.